There's two things I need you to know about Nebbiolo. Number one is that its home is decidedly in Piedmont, in the north of Italy, where it thrives, and you will recognize it as Barolo and Barbaresco. But those wines not only take a long time to make, they also take a really long time to come around and be ready to drink. And so Langhe Nebbiolo, the wine we have here, is the answer to the what will we drink in the meantime question. And this one right here is a perfect example of winemakers who are doing it at the highest level. Now, the second thing you need to know is that for the last few decades, there has been this sort of generational shift that has caused the winemaking in the Piedmont region to sort of divide in half, where you have modern styles and more traditional styles. Now, the modern styles are wines that are being made in a more New World style, akin to something like you'd see in California, right? They're taking the Nebbiolo grape and they're making it a little easier to drink by using newer oak. They're working the grape a little bit more, and they're allowing the grape to showcase itself on the younger side. But the older generation, those guys are working more in the traditional side. And some of the generations after them are now kind of looking to the older generation saying, you know what? You guys might have had it right the first time. We want to go back to the way they used to do it. And that's what we have in this glass here. This is a more traditional style of Nebbiolo. And what I love is that this is from a younger couple. These are entrepreneurs who are from the Piedmont region, who have worked with some of the best wineries there, who decided that they wanted to have a shot at it. And what I also love is that this is actually being imported by True North Wine Merchants, who is one of my favorite smaller boutique importers of European wines, specifically from Italy and from France. And what I think is really interesting about this particular producer is that they're not only going back to the traditional ways, they're also going back to a more minimalistic approach to winemaking, meaning they're using native and natural yeast, they're using minimal intervention, low yielding farming, and a mixture of both large casks and French Tinot, which really gives you a sort of transparent look at the Nebbiolo grape, which I will fully admit can be a little bit austere in its youth, right? It can be a grape that has a lot of tannin, it has a lot of structure, but it's also confusingly sometimes very light bodied. I often describe it as like Pinot Noir with like a huge bite, right? If I'm trying to blind taste something and I get a lot of Pinot characteristics, but I also get a lot of tannin, I'm probably going to look towards Nebbiolo. And that's exactly what we have in this glass here. 100% Nebbiolo from the wider Langhe region. And this is coming from younger vines and a lower exposition, but it is still incredibly representative of the entire terroir. When you smell this wine, you should be smelling the textbook tar and roses of Nebbiolo. It's very fruity, it's very rosy, but there's also something very dark and sort of sultry about this wine. Nebbiolo is kind of a mysterious grape to me, and it's a grape that doesn't really do well outside of Piedmont. But I always love how different it can be even within that region. This one is bursting with really nice tart fruit. It tends to lean in the more cranberry, tart cherry side. Those soft pink roses are there, but also that great dark sort of brambly undertone is also present to give it this really deep bass note. And there she is. Do you feel it? It starts off clean as a whistle, right? Super bright, easy drinking wine. And then all of a sudden, you feel the tannins sort of coat your mouth. This is what Nebbiolo does. But Langhe Nebbiolo only does it to a minimal amount, right? Meaning compared to Barbaresco or to Barolo, where you can get grippy tannins that suck all of the moisture out, this is giving you just a little taste of that. As this wine opens, it's going to continue to soften. It's not going to soften completely. Those tannins will definitely still be there. So if tannin is not your best friend, then I would definitely consider letting this wine breathe for a little bit. And I would also recommend getting it with food. If you don't love how tannin feels on its own, meaning if you don't like that drying, astringent feeling on your mouth, make sure you're having a snack with it. And it doesn't have to be fancy. You can grab anything from your fridge, even the lunch meats will do. You can grab some turkey or some ham, whatever you've got in the fridge that you're using to make your sandwiches with. That works. But it does love a little bit of charcuterie. This can go great with any of your roast chickens, with any of your roast meats for that matter. This is an incredibly versatile wine that I'm loving for these late spring, early summer months, as we're still leaning into proteins, we're grilling outside, we're doing things a little bit on the softer side, so we don't need a huge muscular wine, but this still has enough structure to pair with all of those things and not overwhelm all of those great vegetables that I know are starting to come out of your garden. Those tannins will build. So if you keep drinking this, you're going to keep feeling those tannins. So the best thing you can do is continue to have a bite and continue sipping, kind of alternate back and forth. And please make sure you get a little bit of a chill on this wine. This is a wine that I think will brighten up immensely when you get a little bit of a chill on that. So if you've got a wine fridge and you're storing it at 55, take it out. It should be perfect to go at 55. But if you don't, and it's being stored a little bit warmer than that, throw it in your fridge for about 15, 20 minutes before you're about to serve it. Pull the cork, get into the glass, and you're good to go.